Hey guys, it's Carrie with Mama Dares to DIY, and I'm super excited y'all are back for another do-it-yourself project with me. If this is your first visit to my channel, I want to say a big hello. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to say welcome back, my friend. I have a really fun project for y'all, and let me tell you, it's a doozy. And y'all, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to share it with your friends because that's what good friends do. We share things with our friends that we love. So definitely share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it. If you've tuned in to my sweater pumpkin series, this is going to be video number 3 in the series. The first 2 I'll be sure to link down below. And we're going to be using the rest of the sweater today. This is going to be an easy project just like the first 2, but it's going to be a great companion to the first 2 that we've already done. So stay tuned, keep watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on the bell. You want to make sure that you get notifications every time I upload a new DIY video because y'all, I've got some super cool videos to add to this series as well as some others. Now, if you're a super crazy DIY person like me, you want to tune into my blog too because there's lots of fun stuff happening over there that you're not going to see on YouTube. So visit MamaDaresToDIY.com and check out what I've got going on over there. So keep watching, y'all. We're going to make another sweater pumpkin. So now we're ready to get started on this next project. And this is our original sweater that we used for the very first pumpkin video. And it's the same one we used for our second pumpkin video too. Now this is going to be a third pumpkin video, but it's going to be a little bit different than the other 2. So this one we're going to start off with the body of the sweater, but I want to cut off a little bit. I want to cut off this bottom 3 inches because I actually have another project that I'm going to be doing with this bottom half here, bottom 3 inches. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to try to cut as straight as I can. I really don't think there's an easy way to do this. So we're just going to go for it. I do better at eyeballing it anyway, so here we go. Okay. It's not too bad. I did a pretty good job. It's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so now we're going to take this bottom piece and we're going to save it because we're actually going to make something else with it. So we're going to just lay this to the side. And then we're going to take the top half again, and we're going to cut another line here. It's going to be just under the armpits. And I normally use my little easy action Fisker scissors, but I thought for this one, because we're cutting such a long piece, I should probably use my bigger scissors. And these are Westcott Extreme Edge Titanium scissors. And I really like these scissors. And y'all know I'm not going to waste the top half of this either. There's another project coming for that, so just stay tuned. Okay, so this is the top. We're going to fold it up because we've got yet another project to do with that. So now we're left with just this main body here. And we're going to do just like we did in our second tutorial. We're going to flip it inside out. We're going to take our ponytail holder. We're going to gather the edge. We're going to secure our ponytail, secure the sweater with our ponytail holder. I'm going to make sure it's good and tight. And try to get it as even as possible, but if it's not perfect, y'all don't stress about it. So now we'll flip it inside out, just like we did in our second video. And if you want to secure this down with a little hot glue, feel free to do that. Just if you want to keep those edges from raveling, you can put just a little bit of hot glue in that. I'm not really worried about it, so I'm just going to leave it like it is. Okay, so now we're ready to sew the edge here. And actually, y'all, this would make a super cute hat, wouldn't it? If I didn't need this to be a part of the next half of this tutorial or the next video in the series, I would totally just kind of put some elastic around this and make a cute little toboggan hat. It's precious. But we're not. We're going to be sewing this puppy up with our plastic Knit Quick needle. And I picked this up from Michael's. And we're going to be using our 100% cotton crochet thread here. And we're going to double our thread, so you want to make sure you have enough thread. And y'all, I'm not a sewer, so don't make fun of my sewing here. I love these plastic needles though. They're the greatest invention ever. Okay. I didn't quite get my ends even here. So we'll just stretch it out until it does get pretty much even. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing that we did in our second video. We're going to just use our, I think one of my viewers told me this was called a basting stitch. And neither had to be a fancy name for it. I'm not a sewer, so I didn't know what that was. But I was told it was called a basting stitch, so we're going to go with that. You want to make sure you start on the outside. And we're just going to run our stitch in and out in a basting stitch. I love that my viewers teach me stuff. Now this pretty much is a repeat of the second video, but the stem for this pumpkin is going to be quite different. This is going to be a larger pumpkin, so we are going to need a larger stem. Okay, so we're almost at the end, and we're going to do just like we did in our second video. We're going to overlap our stitches just slightly. I just think it helps to, when you pull your strings together to tighten it, it really does help. To keep it secure if those stitches are overlapped. So just like in the second video, this is going to be our starting point and this is going to be our ending point. So see how we overlap those two? So now let's give it a little tug. And now we're ready to fill it up. And just like the second video, we're going to be using pinto beans. Now this is a larger pumpkin, so it will need quite a few more beans than our other projects. Uh-oh, we have a runaway bean here. Okay, so I like this. Y'all, my cat wants to say hello. Can y'all say hello to my kitty? He just jumped on the counter with me. Okay, you gotta get down, we're working. Okay, so now that we've got some weight to our pumpkin, we want to stuff him. And for this pumpkin, I kind of want him to be a little slouchy. So I'm not going to stuff him very full, but I am going to use my thrift store pillow that I picked up for, they were 2 for $1, I think. And I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of stuffing in there. But I'm not going to overfill it. All of my other pumpkins have been, you know, really fat and fluffy. I kind of want this one to be a little different, especially when you see the stem on this one. It's really cool. I kind of like the look of those Cinderella pumpkins, and that's kind of what this one's going to remind me of because it's kind of short and fat. And I like that it's kind of lumpy. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now this is a lot of string here. So when you're pulling, you want to be really gentle because you don't want your strings to break. If your strings break, then you're going to have to start all the way back over. And I'm just praying that I don't have to do that. Okay, so now we've got our strings pulled tight, and just stick your thumb there, and we'll tie a knot. And we'll tie a couple of knots. And normally I cut these strings off, but I don't know, I think maybe I'll tie a little bow here, pull it, maybe tie another bow, and I may end up clipping those off, but I don't know, I kind of like that. So this pumpkin, I'm really kind of digging his shape. Don't y'all think he's cute? He does look like one of those Cinderella heirloom type pumpkins, doesn't he? Okay. Now, the stem of this one is going to be really neat. This might be my favorite stem so far. So we're going to use some rope. Now, I picked up this rope from Michael's, but Dollar Tree does have some ropes, so you might want to check with them first. But I had this left over from a chair project that I did. I actually chalk painted some chairs that you can check out on my blog. And I used this and I made a little like necklace for the chair. It's a groovy little project, so you should hop over to my blog and check that out. Okay, so let's get back to our pumpkin. So we're gonna take a piece of our rope and we're gonna cut it about 14 inches. And then we're gonna take another piece. We're gonna cut that about 7 or 8 inches. We're going to unravel all of these. So there's 3 sections, and we want to unravel all of those. So now you've got 3 big ones, you've got 3 little ones. Okay, now y'all know I like to have wired stems. I really like to be able to manipulate that stem and turn it and make it go whichever way I want to go. So we need our handy dandy wire. And again, you can pick wire up at the Dollar Tree if your local Dollar Tree has it. If not, you know, hardware store, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, any of those places has wire. So we're going to cut a piece off roughly 16 to 18 inches long. And we want to have one end longer than the other. I don't know why I like to do my wires this way, but I just think that this helps it to poke down in your pumpkin easier. So that's what we're going to do. It seems to work. Okay, so now we've got our wire bent in half. And now we're going to take our 3 longer pieces, and I want them to be 3 different heights. So I want one to be a little bit bigger, one to be a little bit longer, and then one to be a little bit shorter. So you want to kind of stagger your ends here. Can you see that? Okay. So now we want to take our wire with the looped end, and we're going to put it in between your loops here, your pieces of rope. We're going to take a little bit of glue, and you just want to kind of sandwich your wire in between your rope pieces, just so that it's inside there. Hold it for just a minute and let it dry. Okay, and now we're going to take the bottoms of our rope and you're going to want to hold all of this in one hand. So make a loop and then bring all 3 of your loops to about the center. That's about the center of your concoction here. And your loops don't have to all be the same. You know, they don't, if one's longer than the other, it doesn't matter. And now we're going to bend our 3 smaller ones in half. We're just going to go around and place these on here as well. Now, if you've got tiny little hands like I do, this might be a little bit hard to hold. And if it is, you can just put you a little bit of hot glue on here. I'm going to try to hold on to mine though. So now we want to grab our jute twine. If you can find the end of it here. And just pull off, I don't know, maybe a good 2 foot. Remember, you can always cut off the excess. So take your jute twine and just sort of wrap it around 2 or 3 good times just to hold this in place. Make sure it's tight. And then we'll take a little hot glue. Secure that edge. And then just keep wrapping it. You want to kind of go up and then wrap the end where your wire is really good. And then go back down. Now, where your loops meet here, we're going to take the rest of our twine and just keep wrapping it until you've got all of that covered. You want it to blend. And then when you get to the end, just secure your end. Okay, so now you've got your little end pieces sticking up here. We just want to kind of rough those up a little bit. You want this to be sort of raggedy at the ends. I just think they're cuter that way. Then you want to pull your loops apart a little here. Okay, y'all, this stem is done. This might be a little long, so I'm going to trim it off a little bit. So now we just take our loops and hold them down. And there's our wires sticking up, and that's what we're going to put inside of our hole. Isn't she precious? Oh, I just love her so, so much. She's so adorable. Okay, now if you want to, you can embellish it a little bit. If you want to make a little bit of a, you know, cute little ribbon to put on it. I've actually got some more. This is what I'm looking for. I really like this kind of lacy looking ribbon here. So maybe we'll make a cute little bow out of this. Y'all, I just love how this little pumpkin turned out. The stem is probably my favorite part. I think it just sets it apart from the other ones that we've done before in this trio of pumpkins, but it still looks awesome with it. And here we have the pumpkins all together. Now, all of these pumpkins were created from that one thrift store sweater. Can y'all believe that?